perception memories. So I expected that that was what he was dealing with, and why I had to leave. The communications coming through felt like artificial telepathy, not genuine ET contact. And I tried to tell him this. Like, you're turning into something. I would order rare earth magnets and stick it on certain parts of his body, like researching where did they implant, where would he be getting this communication? He's like, what are you doing? And it's like, why'd you go to the pool? Let's have a conversation. And it was just, I was trying everything. I had no clue how to handle this situation. I had 2 small children. I was single parenting mostly, twins, so. And it's just like, there's no way I can picture us going to Mars, right? We are here for a reason. We all know when we come together here, we share this incredible purpose. So I declined the Mars mission and continued the path I knew was mine. By remaining here, I was able to share my message about sovereignty, disclosure, and planetary awakening. This experience became a key chapter in my life's work, exposing hidden programs and affirming our freedom to shape Earth's future. And that's the thing, because we're writing the script here.
Yes.
We are.
Hey, Susan.
And there's incredible leadership now.
I just got done speaking. Now Laura's up.
The ability to really understand. So I'm not going to talk any more about it, but I'll turn this 1, 2, and 3 just to give you a little bit more information. When President Eisenhower was in office, he commissioned a secret society, supposedly known as the Jason Society in 1955, which is considered to be a branch of MJ-12. Truman established MJ-12 while in office, but I've come to find out that this was like in the 1930s, but it wasn't called MJ-12, right? The Jason scholars were created to sift through all the facts, evidence, technology, lies and deception, and find the truth of the alien question.
Hey, Chloe.
So alternatives 1 and 2, I thought that slide.
I just got done speaking. Now Laura's
The
up.
first one is about blowing a hole in the ionosphere, right? For pollution to escape. The second one is about underground bases, a survival underground, right? And you can research that. A lot of people have built unbelievable underground
Yeah, it was
facilities.
recorded.
I'm not talking about underground bases where they do experimentation, but survival colonies. So this was all being proposed to groom humanity into accepting some kind of Armageddon. And we see all this in predictive programming. And with a lot of news of just doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. They want us to create that. So we talked about this, we talk about this a lot, that they cannot create, so they use us. And we basically battery up the artificial timelines by allowing our belief systems to attach, which is the Neptune multidimensional creative imagination that they harvest.
Yeah, I hope I got it on video. I
and
couldn't
bring
record it
life
because
to
my cousin was in the
essentially
frickin' bathroom during
our
it.
true future.
I hope somebody
It's
else
our
got it.
potential. So Alex Collier talks about how the NSA is exempt from all laws in the United States unless the NSA itself is specifically mentioned in any creation of law. It is completely separate, yet our tax dollars are funding it. There was also a great deal of private money used by the NSA to build the alien technology and to keep humanity under control and keep the status quo secure. Even the CIA doesn't know much about the Ultra or Blue Moon units.
Support us in the
NSA.
super chat, guys. This
These
is an
are the
exclusive.
two highest units the NSA has that deal directly with alien technology and information. So there's a lot more to this kind of history. Somebody made this meme.
You guys want Heather's products? I'll show you Heather's products
Side
too.
effect of watching Cosmic Gaia. Before all my channels got taken down. Anyway, so this goes back.
This is Heather Holmes' product. She spoke
We
before.
mentioned Crowley and different things that have taken place in our Earth history that aren't that long ago, where the Greada Treaty is used to cover all this up. Blame Eisenhower for signing treaties with the Greys. 1955, 1954. But in actual fact, this happened much earlier. And he basically inherited the alien problem, couldn't do a whole lot about it until Balfour came along. So, Lisa Renee, energeticsynthesis.com, is where I got this information about, I think the next slide or 2. Definitely this one. During the time that Franklin D. Roosevelt was president, several species of gray aliens contacted all the major world governments and made secret treaties with many of them.
This is the Urantia table.
If
Oh,
anybody
thank you,
knows Lisa
Susan.
Renee, you know that she's top notch. She's on a whole other level. And like
We got Mike
we were
and
talking
Mike
about
Barra,
Voyagers
JB.
and Oceana GN, She has garden knowledge about Earth's history, our galactic history. And anyway, the intention was to create continual world wars, which is the strategy of divide and conquer the human race, keep them busy, and drain them all their resources from the Earth and the life force of humans to serve their agenda. So a lot of people, as we know, are unwillingly, well-intentioned, serving something that they don't realize they're serving. Like my partner.
Yeah.
And this is the larger picture of what we're dealing with. And let's not blame it on aliens, right? Let's look at it as a programming that has been cast upon the human race for thousands of years to keep us in negative ego, trauma loops, fear, panic, and a dependency to an inverted system. So by the time
Thank you,
Eisenhower stepped into
Susan.
office, the draconian system had already infiltrated the three-letter organizations, and they were basically set up already infiltrated. And eventually defense-related projects got infiltrated as technology exchanges took place and they weren't easily monitored. Crowley, Churchill, Hitler. This is from Lisa Renee. I've had validation from maybe one or two other sources in my life, but I share this for people to consider. And if you check out her website, I think you'll realize she knows a lot. Crowley, Churchill, Hitler connection is what established the great alien agreements with the government. Yes, they said, they being the Guardians, Churchill actually met the aliens while he was prime minister, and the beginning of the technology trade Churchill and UK wanted for world domination that led to the human experiments such as mind control through psychotronics and time travel. Churchill did not have racial sympathies and had even less compassion for the general masses. It was during his influence that he was one of the men that allowed 5,000 or so children to be abducted from poor areas and gave the Greys the right to genetic testing of the population. According to the Guardians, when they took something like 10 times the amount, they knew that they were in over their head, that they could not control what they had led the world population into. So it got out of control. But the thing is, it's not about aliens. It's the deep state. It's the deep state. It goes back to Tesla. Tesla sold technology to the Nazis, not knowing what they were going to do with it in the 30s. When we reached warp 1, now everything changed in the 30s. Because we had reached a certain level of advancement technologically, it started to bring in this influence and the slave trade of humans with off-planet beings. So I'm not a contactee. I mean, we all are to a certain degree because we have genetics, right? But I don't have, those kind of stories. Like, some people that are maybe amongst us, that I interview, that other people interview, that carries pioneered in interviewing other researchers and other individuals that are very well versed in the subject. I know people, who know that they have hybrid children out there and have had legit experiences. And the hardest thing, though, is that everybody thinks, oh, your great-grandfather sold us out to the Greys. And that's not what happened. So part of my agreement with Eisenhower before coming in, and why I was targeted too, was because I was a part of his galactic team that helped advise him in his administration, supposedly. And this has been told to me so many times throughout my life from different people. And I know that in my heart, because when I was young, he was this animal. Who's this bald guy with a military uniform? And I would look at the books on the bookshelf. I'm like, man, this guy is like really well known. I'm like, what the? You're just a kid, right? You kind of mind wiped from wherever you were before. Anyway, so these treaties have to do with bartering exchanges of planetary goods,
Good point, Susan.
natural resources, elements and compounds, and materials that can be taken off planet. That included supplying numbers of human adults and children that the government agreed to barter exchanges for abduction, work camps, sexual slavery, forced breeding, genetic experimentation, genetic augmentation, and secret space programs. In exchange for abducting human beings, these megalomaniac government leaders would be given access to extremely advanced off-planet or alien technologies, spacecraft, blueprints, militarized weaponry, zero-point power source technology, and so forth. So, that's more from Lisa. Many whistleblowers said that Roosevelt made a treaty with the Greys, but not everyone is in agreement to this. Supposedly he turned it down. It was the Churchill-Hitler-Crowley connection. Now, Hitler, there were good reasons for what he originally set out to do, with the reparations, with the amount of Germans that were put to death after World War I, and the whole beginning of it all, sure. But during his time, during his administration, some deals were made. And the whole Crowley piece is very important in all this because he is very dark, like a dark magician. Carrie was referring to dark magicians. He's one of the top-notch dark magicians. And a lot about abduction, and the horrors that happen to children are based in some of the rituals of Crowley. So I met Dan Cooper like 2 years ago. He claims that his personal knowledge of the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and 8th fundamental forces of nature guided him in ferreting out the actual historical development
I gotta
of
go.
the technologies employed in the unacknowledged secret access programs of the. A lot more about him. If you want to just scan that real quick.